Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today. Okay, a lot of stuff has been happening. So let's get to the crux of this. So let's look at what's been happening over the dollar index. So dollar index over the last couple of days has really been going down. So this should have been telling you straight away or what's going to be happening with the Indian stocks. So if you look at the US Treasury 10-year yield, okay, this has hit a particular supply zone. So this is telling you that the interest rate is coming to an all-time high. So this means that there's going to be a lot of financial instability. Okay, so dollar index is starting to go further down. US Treasury 10-year yield, okay, the bonds is telling you it's in supply zone. So straight away when we look at Nifty, okay, look at the correlation, okay, Dixie going down, Nifty going up, Nifty going up, significantly up. Look at where the price went up. Look at also how Bank Nifty has gone from a very nice area to where it's gone now. This is the only correlation you need to see. You don't need to see anything else for your charts to be simplified, okay? The dollar index controls everything. The US Treasury yield basically controls the dollar index. And look at what's been happening with the oil itself, okay? All-time low, okay? So this was particularly what's happened of the day, okay? My bias went from buy to a sell, okay? And it should go down to what we call the $90 mark, okay? As soon as it hits the $90 mark on the US oil, this is where I'm going to be buying it back to the demand zone, okay? So try and always understand why the bank nifty is going up, okay? We don't need a lot of information. All we need is the dollar index. Dollar index going down, bank nifty going up, nifty going up, okay? If we now look at other pairs, such as ACC, okay? This will tell you straight away the correlation itself, okay? Look at how ACC is going up, okay? You need to understand this, okay? The way to explain this to you in a different way is think of politics. And you're probably thinking, what has politics got to do with you? With this? Think of Indian politics. The person who sits on the chair, he's not in charge. The four legs of that chair are the four different components that control the person on the chair. So the dollar index is one part of that leg, okay? The US Treasury yield is another part of that leg, okay? You've got to understand these players, okay? And unless you understand these players, you're not going to be able to understand why that particular person is making those decisions, okay? The four legs are all conferring with each other to tell you that they are the same thing and they are all doing the same thing in the long term. But it might look like they're not doing the same thing because of the correlation, okay? Always understand that dollar index controls the whole market. It does not matter if it's Indian stocks, if it's basically US stocks and all that stuff. The dollar index is everything, okay? So look at how ACC, if we look at now another pair, okay, if we look at Grasim, okay, Grasim Industries, okay, look at how this is, okay, in a buying zone, okay. If we now look at Tata, okay, okay, we're all in buying pressure, okay. You must understand this, okay. This is a form of art, okay. Everybody must understand why dollar index does one way and then Nifty, Bank Nifty, and all the other Indian pairs does the opposite, okay. Once you understand that, okay, in terms of price action, supply and demand, and then that will make your trading strategy a lot better, okay. This is not a guessing game, okay. This is not a guessing game, okay. Dollar index controls everything. The US Treasury controls the dollar index. the price of the dollar is controlling all the other major currencies around the world. Okay. Has anybody got any charts that they need to analyze? Anybody have any questions? TCS. Let's see what TCS is. So is that Tata Consultancies and Hindalco? Okay. Right. So first of all, let's mark these charts. Okay, these are brand new charts. So see how that happens. Okay. So TCS. Okay. So overall, let's look at what's been going on. Okay. So price itself has been going from a downtrend and now it's going in an uptrend. So let's mark the current zones as it is, and that'll be easier for you. Okay. So price itself did not go below here. Okay, price did not go below here, and so that's our demand zone. So look at how price enters this zone, does not go further, then wick entry goes a bit up, takes another entry, and now it's trying to go to the top side. Okay, also look at how price reacted from this zone. Okay, this is where the price was starting to sell. So sellers were based here. Okay, price goes further down in this zone. Okay, this was the gap down. Okay, and then price did not go over here. So this is a good area of supply. Okay, also if we look at the bottom of this zone, okay, this is where price did not go further down. So this is what's been happening on the daily. So now let's look at this, what's happening on the hourly. Okay, hourly, there's the gap, there's the imbalance. Price has not gone to that. So what that really means is the price needs to have that, the price between there and there needs to be filled first. So once that's filled, you'll see that the price will be going further. So the maximum it should go is up to that line. If you do go on to that, then it should go a bit further. So now look at what's price been doing in other areas. So what that really means is that price did not go above this zone. So price did not go above here. So this is a key area that price needs to come back into. It's also a supply zone, so that really means that the price will try and go into it, then reversal. But overall, if we look at it from the monthly, okay, we're in bullish territory. Okay, we're in bullish territory, so that means the price should go up. However, because the price is reversed from here, look at how where prices should be going. If you are going to be going long, okay, try and see if you can get price to go up to here and then price to reverse. Okay, so this should be the overall. So once the market has done that, okay, gone from one zone to the other, okay, let's look at it from the 5-minute point of view. Okay, the 5-minute point of view is telling you the wicks. The wicks are there, the wicks are there, the wicks are telling you a lot of information. Okay, indecision candles a lot coming. So here at the same time, okay, mark your supply and demand zones, so it makes it easier. So what this means here is price needs to go out of this zone if the sell is to continue. This is the biggest zone that needs to take out. Okay, at the moment, okay, it hasn't gone below here. So that's a short-term low. Okay, also if you look at it from here, That's also your short-term high there. So price did not go above here, and price did not go low below here. So that's the zone that you need to be really careful of. If price invalidates that and goes to the further side, this is the major zone that needs to take out. Okay, because from here, that's where the movement started. Okay, so overall, try and see if that is then broken. Okay, you got zones here, you got zones everywhere. So make sure your zones are protected. So these are the key zones that you need to understand. So if we now look at from a minute point of view, okay, look at these key zones and what's been happening. Okay, it is making higher highs, but it's not making significant highs now. So intraday always, okay, try and see what's happening on the hourly and then go forward from there. Any questions on TCS? Okay, right, let's go to Hindalco. Same thing, look at daily, okay? So daily at the moment, okay, let's first of all look from the monthly. Right, monthly has hit a particular zone, so this is now quite interesting, okay? Monthly is hitting a particular zone, so this is telling you that the price will be reversing very soon, okay? So we've got the top of that zone. We also got where price has reacted from, okay? So this is the area that we're currently at the moment, okay? On the weekly, okay, it's starting to shift, starting to go to the downside, okay? We now look from the daily's point of view, okay? So two of the major time frames are going in one direction. So that means this is telling you that the monthly eventually is going to go to the downside, okay? So the overall is bearish, but the monthly is telling you that the price is not going further. So be careful of this one, okay? Be careful of this one because this could be quite a significant drop, okay? So here itself, okay, let's look at key zones on the daily. So we had price react from here, the price did not go above here, so that's our demand zone. Okay, let's look at where price went above from. This is where price reacted from. We've got our supply zone there. Okay, we also got a mini demand zone there because price did not go below here. Look at only the wicks of the area. So we have a demand zone there. So now at the moment, okay, price is, just let me make it a bit more easier for you. Price did not go above here, okay? Does anybody know what this type of setup is called? The name of this pattern? So we have a big candle and then a small candle there, okay? Does anybody know what that candle's called?
Momentum base.
No. These two together, there's a name for it. Look under what we call, and this is not to be offensive to anybody before you go, what on earth are you saying, okay? This is the Harami pattern, a bearish Harami pattern, okay? A bearish Harami is a key reversal indicator pattern, okay? So I'll show you what that means. So a bearish Harami pattern, okay? You've got to understand what happens here, okay? So a bearish harami is telling you that the candlestick, especially the second one, okay, this is telling you, because if we look at it here, right, so this is the black candle, and this is so this is telling you the price should be reversing in the opposite direction if we look at our chart pattern itself. Okay, so we have going from a downtrend, so uptrend, and then you see that you'll see it confirming downtrend. You see that will be confirming. Okay, these are one of the most powerful patterns that you can see. Okay, in terms of engulfing. Okay, the harami pattern is one of the most key ones that you need to be able to identify. Okay, so we'll look at that more. So your task today is to look at what happens with harami patterns, especially when it's going from bearish. So from bearish area, you see that. So you should see a short-term bullish momentum, and then you should see going to the downside. So that is why when you see here, what's happening here is the overall trend is bullish. Then when you see these at key points, okay, you'll see that. Also, if you look at from the weekly point of view, okay, look at the pin at the top, okay, that's the highest, that's the lower, that's lower. So this is a 3-bar candle that's telling you that the reversal is happening to the downside. Okay, so overall trend is bullish, but this is telling me that the bears are starting to go into control. Okay, look at how patterns are formed, and then you understand this. So if I take that off, and just look at the top of the candle. Okay, where the top of that candle is, that top of that candle is nowhere near this other one. So that's the highest, that's lower, 3-bar candle. Okay, on the weekly, that is showing you that the bears are going to be in control very soon. Okay, on the daily, it is showing you that the reversal is happening. Okay, however, by the end of this week, okay, you should see this on the Hindle code that the price should be reversing. Okay, so let's see if that is going to come true. Okay, so bearish control. So see what happens over this, okay, and then over that. Right, so if we now look at this from a hourly point of view, okay, first of all, we've got the gap up. This is telling you that price imbalance between here, so even the base, the candle itself, price needs to be filled here before the true trend is going to be continued. Okay, also look at this particular pattern here. Okay, bearish, then it gives you the lowest low, then it got a higher low. So higher low here, lower low here, higher low here, 3-bar candle reversal at a demand zone. This is what I mean by you need to understand key things. Okay, if you don't understand things at the right levels, okay, you're not going to get the patterns right. Okay, pattern trader I'm not, but you need to understand where the patterns must form. Right, so as this is going, so let's just mark our few zones here. So price itself did not go above here. Okay, and price at the moment did not go below here for our short term. So let's mark that a bit different so it'll be easier for us. Black. So now let's look at that key zone on the 5 minutes. So look at how price is going to that area. If the next candle on the 5 minutes is a lower, this is telling you going to be reversal. Okay, look at what happened here. Price went up, made a higher high, that's a lower low. That's the highest point, reversals happening. 3-bar candle. That particular pin at the top is the highest. That is lower. That is lower. 3-bar. Okay. If we see in the next 5 minutes, okay, a lower low confirmed. Okay. So that means on the 10th minute or the second candle, you should see that the price should be going to the downside. Okay. Always. So if you look here as well, price was going down, made a lower low. This was a higher low. It's a higher low. Price went up. Are you guys seeing these patterns at the right levels? Anybody got any questions with this? Good. You must understand how price action works. Okay, price action is the best way to do this. If you don't follow price action, okay, and not understand key areas and key patterns, you're not going to be successful at this. Okay, this is going to be at a different level. Okay, so whoever is following Hindalco, the second candle after this, if the next 5-minute candle is bearish, as in lower low, then you should be entering that for the sell. Your stop loss would be at that black line, and then you'll see that. Okay, so short term, but if you can trade it from that black zone to that black zone, you probably get a lot long-term profit. But be overall in mind that the overall trend that I'm seeing is bearish because of what's happening on the weekly. Okay, what's happening on the weekly? Okay, we had 1 week high, second week higher, that was lower. Okay, so this is telling you that if by the end of this week or going into next week, we should be going into bearish mode. Okay, let's see how this controls. Anybody else got a different chart to go over? Nobody? Good. Do you want to go over any FX pairs, or have you got a good idea what to do now? Good. Right. So now that you've seen that, okay, you use the same analysis on the FX, okay? The FX, the Forex pairs is doing the same thing, okay? Do not do anything different, okay? Good. So if we look at the moment, okay, just temporarily on the Euro USD, okay? Euro USD, remember, this is telling you, okay, so because dollar index was going down, okay, all pairs are going up, okay, but it's still in our, if you look at our daily zone, okay, it's still within our demand zone. So the bulls are trying to take control, okay. Overall, the bears are going to take further control. If we look at what happened to USD CAD yesterday, hourly. Look at how price went from a supply zone and it kept on going further down, okay? Price is always being respected by zone to zone to zone to zone, okay? If you look from the 5-minute point of view of what really happened, okay? Those were the key zones that was not taken out, okay? Each time it's now going lower, 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 plus the pressure was going from the top side, okay? Sellers were in control. Overall, if you took this trade, okay, you would have been in a lot of profit, okay? You must understand key zones, what happens at these levels, okay? This is going in quite well. So USD CAD is going down because of what's happening with the dollar index. Dollar weakens, dollar is weakened here. You must see the correlation, okay? If dollar is weakening on the dollar index, the dollar itself, okay, is going down. The dollar is a whole entity by itself, not just a pair, okay? Right. So try and understand this always of how to mark your charts in